Yeah, so once again, sorry I'm sick, so we moved everything online so everybody can remain healthy and losing my voice. However, I did want to do a few things tonight. Um, so let me share my screen. All right. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to do was, since we're in week 6, I want to go over where we're at in the syllabus and what's coming up. So usually I go to the tentative course schedule, and we are in week 6 right now. And we're going over Gestalt therapy tonight. Now, just because next week it says exam number 2, uh, that's when I hand it out. Okay. And we're going to go over the instructions for it. It is not due next week. Okay. You're going to have an entire week to complete that exam. It's open book, open notes, open lecture, whatever resources you want to use that I've provided, or the Corey book, my notes, my lectures, the Corey book, whatever. Um, I just don't want you to go on the internet and look up answers that way. But you'll have a week to complete that. And so next week, I will open that and we'll discuss everything. And next week, we will also go over choice theory and reality therapy. And the 3 theories that'll be on the exam will be person-centered. That should be pretty straightforward. Gestalt and choice theory, which we'll go over next week. So I think, Cassidy, your cat's very interested in this. So don't worry about it. Even if you totally bomb the exam, the worst thing that happens is you just redo it and hand it in again. Remember, we talked about mastery learning, and my goal is for you to learn this material. Uh, so, you do have to hand it in on time, but if there's problems with it, you just correct them, rewrite it, and hand it in again. Okay. And quite a few people will need to do that. You will not be alone if you are one of those chosen few. All right. So, um, and then, so you'll hand it in week 8. All right. So you'll have a week to do it. It'll be due anytime before class on week 8, because in class we'll go over the answers. So I'd like you to have it turned in before class. The other exam won't be until week 12. and that's right before Thanksgiving. I scheduled it that way. I always wonder whether I should or not, because you're going to have 2 weeks to do it, but it's going to be over Thanksgiving. A lot of people travel, have things going on, but you'll have 2 weeks to complete that one. And but a lot of times people wait till the last minute because it's Thanksgiving, but you should have a little more time to complete that. And then the only thing due on the very last day of class is the final paper, and we'll go over that as well. And any unfinished work is due. And, if you have to resubmit something or something like that. Just as a catch-all, we do have finals week, but I think most people have everything done, but it's there if we need it. Okay. So any questions about kind of our schedule or what's going to happen the rest of the semester? All right, you could always email me and we'll go over every single thing when I hand out the test. But you could also ask me questions about the exam. You could ask me questions about theories. So, I think that you'll have plenty of opportunity. Okay, so let's look at tonight. So I do have a video lecture of the theory. My hair's a little crazy, but other than that, it's the same lecture I always give. So since I'm losing my voice, please watch this lecture and realize that it's a previous lecture. So if I mention times or dates, just ignore them. Just look for the theory itself. And then I have my notes on Gestalt. I have the main things to focus on in the notes for Gestalt are, let's look at them a second. So you have types of resistances, which are very much like defense mechanisms. And the layers of the personality, I cover those in the lecture, but you're going to want to talk about those in the exam and apply them. You're going to have to do 2 techniques for each theory for the exam. And I did list some. I explain these in the lecture. There are some techniques that are very easy, like please use I statements rather than saying you when you talk. But I'd rather you use a technique that has some depth to it. So some examples of that would be empty chair, role play, where your client pretends to be one person and you pretend to be another, or they pretend to be themselves and you pretend to be somebody they know. You don't have to say anything. The client just acts out what they would say to that person. And then instead of responding, you get up and reverse roles. I even change seats if I can. And then I pretend to be the client pretends to be that other person. And they answer themselves because they know that other person better than anybody else. Top dog versus underdog, that is when we do a role play with ourselves. So there's 2 parts of our personality. And there's some inner conflict between those two parts of our personality, and we talk to ourselves. One part of our personality talks to the other part of our personality. That's one of my favorite ones, and then you reverse it. So ones like I statements, body language, confrontation, staying with the feeling, they really are techniques, but they're a little too simple for the exam. I want to see some kind of, dialogue or interaction between you and the client. So pick one of those that you can have a conversation about. And I go into more detail in the lecture. So those are the notes. You've got the lecture, PowerPoint if you want to use it. So remember, Rogers did a tape with Gloria. And now we have Fritz Perls and Gloria. And it's a totally different interaction between these two, but I did want you to watch it from the beginning and see the differences. I will say that you might find Fritz Perls a little abrasive or sarcastic with Gloria, and you might not like that. Here's the thing. You don't have to act like Fritz Perls to use his theory. You can take his theory, Gestalt theory, and be kind and respectful. And you don't have to be abrasive. So just because Fritz Perls acts a certain way doesn't mean you have to. You can still use his theory in a very kind and therapeutic manner. So you don't have to act like Perls just to use his theory. So in the discussion board, I just want you to compare and contrast Rogers and Perls with Gloria, talk about some of your readings. I really did like the two student videos, and you don't have to watch them all, but watch the two student videos from our class. It says fall 2023. There's two of them. One of them's on Winnie the Pooh. It's very creative. The other one is on a character named Caroline, the one with the button eyes. So they're both pretty creative. I think they both did a great job. I already graded them, got full credit. But we had two this week, and I would like you to watch the two student videos. The other videos are just extra student videos. You don't have to watch them. And then the discussion board. It's, same as every other discussion board, due before next class. How did Pearl compare to Rogers? And in the Gloria tapes, give me a little feedback about Gestalt theory. What'd you think of it? A little bit about book, the readings, video lectures, and maybe a little response to the two student videos. So that is pretty much the week, and it should all be on D2L for you. So any questions that I could answer for you? All right, it's a short live class, but you have plenty to do on D2L. And if you have any more questions, just email me. So have a good week. And that's it.